She was a mother, a wife, a nurse, and a killer. In the shadows of Victorian England, one woman left a trail of sickness, and death so wide that even today, historians debate whether she was the most prolific female serial killer in history. Her name was Mary Ann Cotton, and she became known as the Dark Angel. Over 2 decades, those closest to her, husbands, lovers, and even her own children, wasted away, their bodies racked with stomach pains and violent vomiting. The doctors called it typhus. But behind closed doors, Mary Ann knew the truth. She had given them poison, and she waited. For death, for money, for freedom. But what drove a mother of 11 to become the Black Widow of England? Was it poverty, desperation, or was she simply evil? Mary Ann Robson was born in 1832 in a small coal mining village in County Durham, England. Life was brutal. Her father worked in the mines, and the family lived in constant poverty. When she was still a child, tragedy struck. Her father fell to his death down a mine shaft. The young Mary Ann watched her mother struggle to survive, forced to remarry just to keep food on the table. The lesson stuck. Men were not companions. They were providers. And when they died, money changed hands. Neighbors described Mary Ann as quiet, polite, and neat, the very image of a Victorian woman. But behind her soft eyes and gentle smile lurked an ambition. She wanted stability. She wanted comfort. And she would get it no matter the cost. At just 20 years old, Mary Ann married William Mowbray, a colliery worker. Together, they had children, at least 5, possibly more. But then came tragedy. Child after child fell ill. They suffered stomach cramps, vomiting, and slow, painful deaths. Neighbors pitted Mary Ann, believing her home cursed by disease. In truth, Mary Ann had discovered her weapon: arsenic. A powder so common in the 19th century it could be bought at any chemist shop, used to kill rats or whiten curtains. In tiny doses, it mimicked typhus. In larger doses, it was death itself. By the time William Mowbray died suddenly, Mary Ann had already buried several children. Yet instead of being destitute, she received a payout, a life insurance policy worth £35, a considerable sum at the time. It was blood money, and it would not be the last. What followed was a chilling pattern. Mary Ann remarried. Her new husbands, her children, her lodgers, they all began to die. Each time, the symptoms were the same: nausea, stomach pain, violent purging. Doctors shrugged. Typhoid was rampant. Few suspected foul play, but Mary Ann's neighbors noticed her resilience. Death never seemed to break her. She would weep, yes, but not for long. And as soon as a husband was buried, Mary Ann moved quickly to the next man. Each marriage brought more children, more victims, more insurance payouts. By the mid-1860s, Mary Ann's second husband, George Ward, was dead. Soon after, her lover John Robinson lost 2 children. By the time she met her third husband, James Robinson, the whispers had started. How could one woman lose so many? Yet Robinson ignored them until his own children started falling sick. Terrified, he threw Mary Ann out. But it was already too late. Her trail of bodies stretched across County Durham and beyond. By the time suspicion caught up to her, 21 people were dead. In 1872, the death of a young boy, Charles Cotton, Mary Ann's stepson, became the key that unraveled her dark secret. The local parish official grew suspicious when Mary Ann casually remarked that the boy was in the way and would soon be gone. Days later, Charles died in agony. But this time, doctors examined his body. The result? Arsenic poisoning. Police began to investigate. As they retraced Mary Ann's life, they realized the shocking truth. Everywhere she went, death followed. The Black Widow had perfected her disguise. A grieving widow, a mother in mourning, a loyal wife. All masks she wore while secretly stirring poison into tea, soups, and medicines. But now her past had caught up with her. Mary Ann Cotton's trial became a sensation. The courtroom was packed, newspapers sold in droves. The idea of a woman, a mother, being a serial killer shook Victorian society to its core. The prosecution laid out the evidence. Multiple marriages, countless dead children, And one constant, Mary and herself. Doctors testified about arsenic. Neighbors told of her cold remarks. And the jury, horrified, took less than 90 minutes to deliver the verdict. Guilty. On March 24, 1873, Mary and Cotton was led to the gallows at Durham Prison. Before a crowd of thousands, she dropped to her death. Witnesses claimed her composure never wavered, that her eyes remained calm and empty as the rope tightened. The Black Widow was gone, but the horror of her crimes lived on. Historians still debate Mary Ann's motives. Was she a victim of poverty, driven to desperate measures for survival? Or was she something darker? A true predator who enjoyed the slow deaths of those she claimed to love? What we know is chilling. Mary and Cotton poisoned at least 21 people, perhaps more. Her name remains etched in history as Britain's first female serial killer. Even today, her story haunts us, because the face of evil is not always a monster in the shadows. Sometimes, it's the gentle smile of a mother. So, what do you think? Was Mary and Cotton a woman trapped by her times, or was she evil incarnate? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more haunting mysteries and unsolved cases, subscribe to the Unsolved Case File. New episodes every week. And trust me, the stories only get darker.